Dear students, today we are going to see management control systems. The management control system is very important subject, not only for the management, but also for each and every employee should have a control about the resources that are being used by them and the information resources that are being communicated or processed in the organization to reduce the losses and to work efficiently. So the management control systems. The management control systems is one of the most important tool in the hands of the manager. In order to achieve the organizational goals, strategies, and the plans that has to be carried out in the right way. So it is said to be a system in which information is gathered and used for the evaluation of performance of different organizational resources like human resources, physical resources, financial resources, and organization as a whole in a right way in order to achieve the organizational objectives. And it is said to be one of the most crucial organizational function and must be implemented and supported in the right way because potential failures can lead to large financial losses, reputation damage, and even may lead to the organizational failure. A very interesting definition how management operates is management is getting the results through the work of others for the benefit of the client or the benefit of the organization. So this definition is clearly making it clear that the idea of how a management works. It is nothing but the art of getting the work done by the workers or by others. And here the MCS is nothing but it is a device or a tool which functions via the use of all these resources. It can be physical resources, financial resources, or information resources, or any other material or immaterial resources in order to achieve the organization resources, organization objectives, and carry out by controlling, encouraging, enabling, and forcing employees in order to achieve organization objectives in a right way, in a right time. So that is how the organization, the management works in an organization to achieve its objectives. Here the managers also have the tendency to investigate and intervene in several ways because the ultimate aim of every manager is to protect and enhance the wealth of the client or else wealth of the organization. So, with this aim, every manager will have a tendency to investigate and intervene in different approaches in order to make the subordinates to perform in an effective way. Whenever he feels that the subordinates are deviating from their set targets, definitely the management will try different methods in order to make them in the right way or else make them to work in an efficient manner because it is a responsibility of the manager to protect the wealth of the or else to enhance the wealth of the shareholders. This can be done only by management by expectation approach. So the principle or else the essence behind the subject of MCS is expectation management by expectation approach. So let us see how this management control system works, how important it is in an organization. And before going to the how it works, let us see the three distinct elements of management control system. The first distinct element is management, second is control, and the third element is system, the management control systems. So the first, let us talk about the management. The management is nothing but, we already discussed, the management is nothing but the art of getting the work done by others in order to achieve the organizational goals. And in another way, we can say that management is about organizing people and the processes in a manner that helps the organization to achieve specific targets. So, and the management is a process that wants to ensure different parts of the work together to attain the organization goal. What does that mean? It is nothing but in every organization we can see we will be having different departments. And it is very important for the manager or the management to get all this department together, and they all have to work towards a common goal, that is organizational goal. So it is a management process who wants to ensure different parts work together to achieve the common goal, that is organizational goal. So according to one of the finest definition which is given by Harold, is management is the art of getting things done through and with the people in formally organized groups. And according to W. Taylor, management is an art of knowing what to do, when to do, and see that it is done in the best and the cheapest way. That is very important. If you are having a business, it is very important to understand doing business, it's not a big deal, but doing the business with efficiency, with efficacy is very important. How you can excel in your business? Only if you're able to do the things in a best and the cheapest way. So it is very important to do a business with excellence. So how this can be done? How you can do the things in the best and the cheapest way? So, well, this is the most important means dealing with different resources and allocating them in correct roles and purposes. And how we can do the things in the best and cheapest way in an organization. So, this how we can do the things in the best and cheapest way by allocating the right people, right job, right roles, and right things in the right way and at the right time. So, management includes for doing that right things in the right time, allocating the right things and allocating the right resources to the right roles. For that, we need guidance and monitoring of these resources, how these resources are being used, how human resources are being utilized in the organization, how the material resources are being utilized in the organization. This is very important to monitor, and it is very important to guide. That's why we'll say that the organization management is a set of principles relating to the function of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, and all this application of these principles in harnessing physical, financial, human, and information resources efficiently and effectively to achieve organization goals. So it is nothing but what is management? What is the aim of management is nothing but doing the work in a best and cheapest way. So hence the management has to perform the task in an efficient and effective manner, and the goals and objectives has to be achieved. If you want to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization, it is very important to have a control over the resources. It can be human, physical, financial, or informational. So what do you mean by control? Now, till now we have gone through what is meant by management. Now we are going to see what do you mean by control. Control is very important function in every business or in every organization. In this context, the control refers to the process of analyzing and taking the corrective actions whenever it is necessary. So, in the previous definition, we have gone through what is management. In the definition, we said that the management they need to monitor, and the managers will have an intention to investigate the various ways if the employee is getting deviated. So, various way to control and make the employees to be in track. So how can you find out what are the various? It is nothing monitoring and guiding. Monitoring, after monitoring and guiding, what better can be done, what ought to be done in order to resolve this issue. That is what the control is. The control is one of the finest functions of management. In this context, it refers to the process of analyzing and taking the corrective actions whenever it is necessary. When controlling, it is very essential to monitor whether you are receiving an expected result or process, or during it, or if the outcome deviates from the expectations. So, in every organization, evaluation of the performance is very important. If you are evaluating the purpose of evaluating any performance of resources or anything, just because to make them in the right way. to put them in a right way. So if there is a deviation, you can take the corrective action in order to ensure the expected results occur. So that is the main purpose of the control. But if with the rise of the modern technology, control can be used to foresee and error even. Now we are able to, we have different software applications are being used to these days. With the help of these technological advancements, we are able to foresee or else anticipate the coming error. If you do this, we may get into these troubles. We are able to anticipate, we are able to estimate the future foreseen errors. This has changed the function and made it increasingly important part of the management process. That's why it became, these technological advancements also made it very important. The control has given more priority in the organizations. Now, let us see an example. Just like how a car or motor vehicle can be controlled by using accelerator, brake pedal, steering wheel, because to control the speed and direction of travel. In the similar way, the control is very much necessary in an organization in order to reach the strategic interventions of the organization. But controlling an organization is quite complicated than that of controlling a vehicle or a car. So let us see the elements, what are the different elements of the control system. In this diagram, we can see what different elements of the control system. So the first element is detector. What is the work of the detector? What does this detector do? Thus, this detector, it is nothing but it detects the information about what is happening within the organization or within the process or within the department. What is happening? And next is assessor. Assessor is nothing but assessing means measuring the standard performance with that of the normal performance. Standard performance, set targets will be compared with the performance, general performance. It can be the mission performance or else it can be the material performance or man performance, human performance or financial performance. It will be assessing. It will be measuring and comparing, and if there is any deviation, this assessor will be sending is to this. If there is any deviation, the control device will be detecting and controlling, in taking the necessary actions whenever it is necessary. If there is any deviation in between the expected results and the normal generated results, expected results in the generated results, then if it is needed, we will be doing any alteration. If it is necessary, or control actions will be taken in order to get the things in the right track, in order to reduce the percentage of errors. So every control system has at least the four parts or the components which we have discussed. The first one is detector, which we have already seen, that is detector. And the second is assessor. It is nothing but it is comparing or measuring if there is any difference is there within the standard performance along with the generated performance and the generated output. So, and the third device is effector. An effector is called as a feedback. So it will be sending that alters behavior if assessor indicates need to do something. It will be sending the feedback. Okay, it needs some changes. So the control action will be taken. In the fourth step, the communicator network devices. This transmit information between the detector and the assessor, and between the assessor and the effector. So this is how the total control system will be working in the organization. So next, what are the steps of control process? So let us see the steps in the control process. The first step is setting a goal and establishing desired objectives. First of all, we have to set the what to do, what we have to achieve, what are the desired objective that has to be achieved. For example, if you want to manufacture or produce 1,000 pairs of shoes in a month, that is the objective, that is a set objective. target, I can say. After setting the target, next we have to do measuring the achievements of the goals and objectives. So now we have started performing. After setting the goals, then we have to measure the performance of the employees, how much they have. If an employee can produce, the target is each employee has to produce 1,000 pairs of shoes in a month. And now next step, let us see how much they have produced. In case if I have made 999 pairs of shoes in a month, the performance has been measured. The measured performance is the second step. Now, after measuring the performance, we'll be comparing the achieved goals and objectives with the original goals and objectives. What it was achieved, what it was targeted. So the deviation is 1. So the achieved is 999 and you have to, the objective is 1,000. So there is a deviation between the set target and the achieved output which is generated. So analyzing the variances and reporting on them, determining the causes behind why the deviation has been taking place. Why? Is a problem with the materials, or is the problem with the machinery, or is the problem with the human resources? Why we are unable to achieve the target? So we'll be analyzing the underlying the causes and analyzing the consequences of the performance. So after doing that, taking the corrective actions in order to eliminate the deviations. So these are the 4 steps. First, we'll be setting the objectives or the set desired objectives, and then we'll be measuring the performance of the resources. It can be human resources or anything. And next, we have to, first and second step, we have to compare how much is the target, how much you have achieved. And after that, we have to analyze if you are able to produce 1,000 in a month. The target is also 1,000. There is no deviation. It is effective performance. If you have deviated from the target, then we have to analyze the causes, why you got deviated, why you are unable to achieve. Is the problem with the material? Is the problem with the mission? If there is a problem with the mission, if the mission has been breakdown, then we will not be able to achieve the target. So we have to analyze the various causes behind it, and then if it is needed, we will be taking the necessary actions in order to eliminate the variations or the deviations, following up and repeating the process. Following up the process and repeating the process so as to reach the target. So these are the control steps. Now the next component or the element of control system is management control system is system. A set of detailed methods, procedures and routines created in order to carry out a specific activity, perform a duty, or solve a problem. In a simple way, I can say that system is nothing but a process of systematic, is a series of doing the things in a sequential manner, one after the other, in an organized manner, or in a structured way. A system is an organized or purposeful structure that consists of interrelated and interdependent elements. A system will be definitely consist of subsystems. If you see, we'll be calling this computer as a system, and in the system we'll be having different subsystems like keyboard, we'll be having monitor, we'll be having CPU, and all these external peripherals or internal peripherals combined together, we'll be calling it as a system that is in an organized purpose. If you have taken up the monitor, there is no monitor. If you have taken the keyboard, and we can, if you dismantle all these parts, it cannot be called as a system. When all the subparts are in an organized structure, then we will be calling it as a system. So a system is a prescribed and usually repetitious way of carrying out an activity. In case of an organization, we'll be calling a system as a prescribed and usually repetitious way of carrying out an activity or a set of activities. Systems are characterized by more or less rhythmic, coordinated and recurring series of steps intended to accomplish a specified task. So let us see, it is a diagrammatic representation of a system. So it is having some input and to generate the output. In between, what are the process which is taking place one after the other in a systematic and repetitious manner, then it is called as a system in order to achieve a specified objective. So the picture has illustrated the idea of a system in a business context. Okay, now the input therefore is, here the input would be that input will be the materials, labor, equipment, etc. You need to achieve the output. So you can take the resources to implement this targeted output or else to get the desired results. So in the business system, it would be a strategy the business uses to create a specific output. And so, if the output is to provide cheap shoes, the business strategy is manufacturing of the shoes with the specific elements this entitles. So, the result that provides feedback to the inputs on the performance of the system, and perhaps you don't receive as many shoes as you wanted, and so you can increase the input. So every time you will be getting from the generated output from the input after processing, it will be generating some output, and if the target is not matching, the feedback will be giving the information to the input that you didn't achieve the target, so you have to increase it. So we'll be again performing it. Thus the system is prescribed as, which it is nothing but it is a repetitious way of carrying an activity or a set of activities, and this is characterized by more or less rhythmic, coordinated and recurring series of steps intended to accomplish a specified task. Now, let us see. Now we have gone through all the elements of management control systems. Now we understood that a management control system is a system which gathers and uses information to evaluate the performance of different organizational resources like human, physical, financial, and also organization as a whole in the light of organizational strategies pursued. So let us see the whole concept of what is management control systems. The management control systems, let us see some of the coded definitions of this. So one of the best definitions of management control system, this definition was first coded in the 1972 when Ernest Anthony Lowe, professor at the University of Sheffield, published in his article called The Idea of Management Control Systems. This is the definition which is given by Ernest Anthony for the first time. He has used MCS, Management Control Systems, in this article. According to him, an organization would aim to establish a specific system to control and plan different operations it is going through. He identified 4 reasons necessary for systematic management control. Why do we need it? In his article, he was mentioned what is the need of having a control over system, management system. Why do we need a control over management system? The reason is, the first reason, all the organizations have definite organizational objectives. In order to achieve the predetermined objectives every organization will be having long-term objectives and short-term objectives. In order to achieve those predefined objectives, it is very necessary to have this systematic way of management. So the second reason is management have hierarchy, with managers being in subunits. Each manager has to define personal goals which are aligned with the organizational goals. So this is the second reason of having a management control system. And the next reason is, why do we need this management control systems is, organization situations together with human behavior may create a lot of uncertain situations. This is because of internal or external circumstances. Sometimes some people may not be able to work because of their illness. So, and sometimes accidents may occur, And whatever circumstances or whatever situations comes, we have to go with the production. We should not interrupt the work. In order to work continuously without any interruption, or else in order to achieve the organization objectives, we need to work uninterruptedly, smoothly. So we need some control. We should know who is not feeling well. If a person is not feeling well, you should have another person to compensate that work. So to know that, you should have a control over that. Who is doing the work and who is not in the work. How can you assign the work to anybody if a person is not? You should have a buffer idea of who is there, who is not in the schedule. And it is very important to have a clear information about the resources, human resources and financial resources, so as to allocate these resources and use them in an efficient manner. Objectives must be economized and human endeavors must be sought. Organizations' objectives must be achieved and human endeavors must, and these human endeavors must be available in these objectives. So in order to minimize the cost, and also it is very important to achieve to have a control over the management. These are the reasons of why do we need a systematic control over the management, that is management control systems. Now, let us see, he has described a definition, he has described according to Anthony Lowe, he has described management control systems as the processes by which managers ensure that resources are obtained and used effectively and efficiently in order to accomplish the organizational objectives. This is what the definition which is given by Anthony for the first time in his article. Nonetheless, he felt that MCS to be different from strategic planning or operational control business conduct. So let us see the another definition which is given by Foster. He defined the management as a means of gathering and using information to aid and coordinate the process of making planning control decisions throughout the organization and to guide the behavior of its managers and employees. In an organization, everybody, the managers along with the workers, has to work together. They all have to work together. So these management control systems acts as a tool to gather the information and acts as for gathering information and processing that information in accordingly, so that we can guide and control the behavior of both the employers and the managers, so that we can achieve the organization objectives effectively. So now the goal of management control system is to control or improve the collective decisions with an organization in an economically feasible way. In the starting, we have told that according to W. Taylor, management is nothing but doing the things in a best and cheapest way. For doing the things in the best and cheapest way, it is very important to have a control over the system. So this control over the management control helps to improve the organizational economic feasibility. So the management control system is a system which gathers and uses information in order to evaluate the performance of different organizational resources like human, physical, financial, and also organizational as a whole in the light of the organizational strategies pursued. Now, this organization control system not only evaluates the performance of the resources, but also influences the behavior of the organizational resources to implement organizational strategy. And this management control systems, it can be formal or informal way. So it is a comprehensive, thus we can conclude that it is a comprehensive system where a framework is crafted to control and monitor internal aspects of the business as well as the external behavior and the environment. That's what I want to say. Like, it not only assesses the resources internally, but also helps to improve the total environment of the organization, which is very important. It is to have a control and have a monitor within the elements of the or else resources in the organization. So the organizations that have adopted this management control system use it for both non-financial as well as financial measures as both of them leave a direct impact on business which needs to be monitored. So we know that in an organization we have both financial aspects and non-financial aspects which both have to be measured and both have to be controlled. Financial measures is nothing but how much investment which you are putting on the non-material and all these things, and non-material things, non-financial things, and whether services of the employees are deviated, or else whether they are whether we are using the employee performance in the right way or not. It is also very important. And is there any idle time for the employees, or else whether the employees are working with efficiency? These are all have to be monitored. It can be financial or else non-financial components, or all has to be monitored and has to be controlled in order to reach the organization strategies and goals. Now, some examples of financial information. So I have used both the words because now this management control system uses both financial and non-financial measures. So let us see what are called as financial informations, like what I said: material cost, labor cost, net profit, investments made on the business. These are all the things comes under this financial information. Let us talk about what are the non-financial things comes under non-monetary terms, like production units per worker, services, and hours, labor, number of hours emission is working, or number of hours emission is in idle time, we can say the number of hours, the labor hours, or time taken to accomplish a task, customer orders, and absenteeism or retention strategies, retention, how many employees are retaining in the organization, and what are the attritions, what is the turnover of employees. These are all non-financial, I can say the non-financial measures that has to be controlled. So some information gathered under management control system may merge from internal data, and from some information will be gathered from the external data. So need of management control systems. The need of management control systems. Why do we need this management control system? Till now, you get an idea what is the need, why we are going through it. If you don't have any control over the financial resources that are being used in the organization, like just like I can give a best example like the Satyam scam, okay, Nirav Modi scam, and another example, Tyco International, that is very big company that has been a very big scam. That you the financial scam, that you illegal financial transactions that are being not monitored, not entered in the book of accounts. These made the organization to be vanished into losses. It has damaged the reputation of the organization. Not only the reputation of the organization has been damaged, but also the total organization has been sent into crisis just because of lack of control over the financial, non-financial resources that are being used in the organization. So management control failure can lead to large financial losses, damage of the reputation, possibly even organization failure. To illustrate this, let us take some examples. Let us see what are the examples that has been quoted. And these are all the case studies, but please go through this. Each and every company has their own case studies. If you take the example of Tycoon, it is one of the international MNC company having more than having more than 40 branches all over the world, 100 branches I think, all over the world. And Tycoon is an international which is into fire protection, and electrical and electronic services, telecommunications, and it is that big company was into financial crisis because of non-monetary of illegal illegal financial transaction which are not being recorded in the book of accounts. So it is very important to have a control over, to have a monitor about all the resources that are being used in the organization. Consider the collapse of the companies like Tyco, it is one of the case study, and Global Crossing, and WorldCom, Enron. These are the best examples you can go through what is the need of this management control systems. Part of the reason for their demise was lapse in controls, because they don't have control over the resources. It can be financial or non-financial resources, and the misuse of financial resources and non-financial resources has led to the demise of these great companies. Once they are one of the topmost companies, now they are no more, just because of lack of control over their resources. So it is very important to have a control. CEO and top management. Why? In the case of these companies, what happened? The CEO and top management compensation has been heavily tied to the stock options, and they started taking the advantage of this stock option and started using the company organizational assets for their personal purpose, giving loans to their employees, and using the assets of the organization for the personal purpose, like buying some property, birthday parties, and all these things. Because of it, the company was set into losses. To illustrate this, let us start with some example in the financial sectors, that since the financial crisis has been tested by the raft of control failures related to rusty information systems. The first is misconduct related to mis-selling financial services, such as pay protection, whichever we have discussed, Tyco, okay, and all these companies, Tyco and Global Crossing, WorldCom. The reasons behind the failure of these companies, we have gone through what are the reasons. Okay, the first reason is misconduct. Misconduct related to mis-selling financial services such as pay protection, insurance, stemming from the aggressive sales-based tactics. And the second one is allegations that financial services companies helped their clients pay taxes. And third one, manipulation of interest rates such as vulnerable LIBOR. LIBOR is nothing but which will be setting the financial rates throughout the world. Okay, and next is faults in the internal control surrounding the reporting of commodity prices by banks, trading desks, more isolated but crippling unauthorized by trades. So these are all the different, these are all the things these are all the, I can say that if you rapid things that has been taking place because of the control failures in the organization. So now let us see the next concept. Consider the world companies which are having the control over the management, over their management, and are being excelled, like world first companies such as Amazon Electrical, Local Electric, New York Times, Worthington Industries, 3M Corporation, Nucor Corporation, Dell Computers, Walmart, Southwest Airlines. These are all the companies, Cisco Systems, and these are all the companies having the management control systems. Their long-term success is not just because they have developed good strategies. Having good strategies only are 1% of your organization's success. It is very important that these designs organization has to be properly implemented, and when they are implementing, it is very important to have a monitor and guidance about what is going on, how you are achieving these targets in a proper way or not. It is also very important. So for monitoring and directing, coordinating, all these resources, we should have a control over your organization activities. So for all the success companies, till now we have gone through the failure companies. Now we have gone through the success companies. Why all these companies has been succeeded? Not just because of they have developed good strategies, not because they are good in implementing the things, but also it is very important to have a control and monitor and coordination and direction on all these resources. Now let us see interrelation among strategic planning, management control, and operational control. The diagrammatic representation, it shows that the activities, the first activity is strategy formulation, management control, and the third is task control. These are the three control activities, management control activities. And in the first strategic formulation or a strategic form of planning, what we'll be doing will be, what is the end product of strategic planning? We'll be setting the goals, objectives, policies, and strategies. And after setting all these things, that is the end product of the first one, strategic formulation or strategic plan. Next is this management control. What it will be doing? The set objectives will be implemented by the management control. It will be implementing, it will be make the things done. What are the set objectives will be carried out and will be implemented by the management control. And task control, operations control. We can say that this task control is also called as operations control. And it is nothing but efficient doing the implementing things is one thing, and how this can be implemented. Operation control. You should have a control over the operations that are being taking place. Whether you are doing in an efficient manner or effective manner, or it's just you are just completing the work. In the previous example, we have seen that in the previous example, the target is 1,000 shoes, and we have done the work. We have manufactured the shoes, but we are unable to reach the target. That is operational control. Because of lack of operational control, we should first know the reasons behind why we are unable to reach the target. This is the operational control. To do the work in an efficient manner, we should have a control over the task individually, how the individual is performing, and whether he is in the right track or is being deviated. It is very important. Now, as you see, management control fits between, in the picture we can see it is management control is in between the strategic formulation and operational control. So we can say that it fits between the strategic formulation and operational control. And strategic formulation is the least systematic of all the three. Strategic formulation is least systematic, whereas the highest systematic is control operation or is task operation. Task control is having the highest systematic than that of management control, and this management control lies between these two. Okay. Next, this is a relation between all this. The strategy formulation, what does it focus on? The output, what is the output which we have seen in the figure? We can see that in the strategy formulation, the output is long-term goals, strategies, policies. And the task control, what it will be doing? Task is nothing but it will be focusing on short-term. It is quite opposite to that of strategy formulation. It will be focusing on short-term activities, where the strategy formulation will be focusing on long-term objectives, and whereas the management control is in between these two. Okay, in order to achieve the strategic objectives, this management control system acts as a bridge between the long-term and short-term objectives. Through this management control, we will be achieving the long-term objectives of the organization. The strategic formulation uses rough approximations in the future. Because strategic formulation is a long-term process of achieving the organization objectives, so it is having rough approximations. By the year 2050, will be the GDP rate, or will be crossing this, will be putting some target. Whereas task control uses accurate data. whereas this management control will be in between. So, and the next, each activity involves planning control, but the emphasis varies with the type of activity. Each activity, either in the strategic formulation, or it's in the task control, or it's management control, each activity will be having a planning and control, but depending how much they will be planning and how much control they will be having, it depends on the type of activity that are being performed. So the planning process is much more important in the strategic formulation. If you take the two processes, two activities, one is planning and control, the planning will be more in the strategy, and the control is more on the operation or task control. And the planning and control are equally important to management control. Here in the first plan, strategic planning or strategic formulation, what is that? It is very important to have a planning. We'll be planning the policies, objectives and all, whereas in the last control, task control, operational control, then it is very important the control over the individual performance or else operations or else whichever the activity is taking place, you should have control over what is things, how the things are taking place. So where is the management control in the middle, the management control will be taking this to planning and control and an it will be giving equal importance to both planning as well as control. Now let us see that is the relation between all the three. Now let us see what are management control activities. The management control is nothing but is a process by which managers influence other members of the organization to implement the organization objectives. In order to achieve the organization objectives, the process through which undergone by the managers to make the work done or which to make the organization objectives to be achieved, that is called as management control. So let us see what are the aspects that are being in this management control activities. The first is in the management control, what are the different aspects that has to be taking place, that has to be considered. So first is planning. The management control activities are, the first activity is planning what the organization should do, what we have to achieve. We have to first plan what is the desired output, what we want to do, actually what you want to achieve. So that is very important. That is called as planning. And the second one is coordinating. After planning, while you're doing the things, it is very important, all the activities has to be coordinated. And the third is communicating information from one place to another, because we are coordinating with this. In an organization, we'll be having different parts. Operations, human resources, financial resources, every department is interrelated, depend on one another. So it is very important, communication is very important. If there is any gap in the communication, it may lead to disasters and losses even. So communication is very important. Evaluating the information whenever you do some work, it is very important to assess the activity or it's the information that is being processed. And next is after evaluating the information, deciding what if anything went wrong, what ought to be done to resolve this issue. If an issue occurs or else if anything goes wrong, it is very important to know what better can be done to resolve this issue. So that is what the control actually is. Influencing people to change their behavior. So if you have to change something, it is very important that change has to be accepted by the people. So influencing the people to change their behavior or alter if there is need to alter their behavior or anything. So characteristics of management control system. Let us see the important characteristics of the management control systems. So it is closely aligned to an organizational goals and strategies. From the starting definition itself, we are talking that to achieve the organizational objectives, we need some control over the activities or resources. So the subject is the management control subject control system is closely coordinated and aligned to the organizational objectives and the goals. Now, management control system should be designed to fit the organization structure and decision-making responsibility of the individual managers. It is very important. It is one of the most important characteristics when we are designing the control system. We have to keep in mind the organization structure. Depending upon the type of structure, control system varies. And type of activity that are being taking place in the organization, type of organization, and the type of organization structure, it may differ. So it is very important while we are designing an organization control system, we have to look after the organization structure and decision-making responsibility of the individual manager. And next is effective management control system should motivate managers and employees to exert efforts towards achieving organization goals through a variety of rewards tied to the achievement of goals. And so it is very important for an effective management control systems. We need to motivate the employees or managers as well as the employees to achieve the organizational goals in an efficient and effective manner. Further, we need to offer the incentives. It can be monetary or non-monetary rewards. We have to appreciate the person to get motivated. So when a person gets motivated to work, when you feel like happy at workplace, when you're satisfied to work in the organization, when human will get satisfied because of it can be financial, it should be some reward, appreciation, because we are all human beings, we always expect something from others. Sometimes it can be monetary benefits, sometimes it can be non-monetary benefits. So it is very important, reward is very important for people to get motivated. It can be in terms of monetary or non-monetary terms. Now, let us see some of the objectives of management control systems. The objectives are to measure progress. So, it is very important that the objective, the first and foremost objective of this management control system is to measure the progress. And so, under the planning process, the fundamental goals and objectives of the organization are established. This control process is necessary to measure the progress towards these goals, whether what are the activities that are being taken place, whether we are doing in the right path and being deviated from the work. If you are deviated, again we'll be going to the control actions. How can you get the people on the track to do the work in a right way? So, to measure the progress, how far the work is going on, whether everybody is doing well or else they are being deviated from the work. If people are getting deviated from the work, definitely we may not be able to achieve the set targets. So it is very important to measure the progress of the work or the activities. According to the Henry Ford, control consists in one whether everything occurs in a conformity with the plan adopted and instructions issued and principles established. It is what definition which is given by Henry Ford. And so let us see, as a navigator continuing. So what is it like every time whenever you're doing a task in an enterprise, it is very important to see whether the predetermined course of action is being done in a systematic way, in a proper way, whether we are in the track or not. We must be always measuring, assessing the work that is being taken place or that is being progressed. If we didn't do that, definitely it may lead to disastrous output. So the feedback enables us to compare. So SSO is necessary to compare targeted output, standard output and generated output. In the way, the feedback enables us to compare targets with the performance and helps us to take the corrective actions whenever it is necessary. Whenever we are deviated from the work, this feedbacks will help us to get us on the track. Next objective is to uncover deviations. So whatever which we have discussed again, there are several factors pull off the enterprise from the chartered course of action. There are several factors, just like which we have discussed in Tyco company. In case of Tyco, or is what are the companies which are into demise, the case studies which we have discussed, all these companies are being in that position just because of lack of control on their financial and non-financial resources. So it is very important because in every organization we are ought to face different situations. Various uncertainties has to be faced. So an efficient control system is required to detect the deviations before they become a serious problem. Okay, so we know that stitching time saves time. Stitching time saves time. That means if you are able to detect the problem whenever it is small, so that we will be able to find out the solution for that before it becomes a big problem. So it is very important to identify the problem when the problem at the start of the problem. Okay, so for identifying the problem, the system is required to detect these deviations before they become a serious issues. So for detecting this, what are the things? What are the main causes due to which the organization may go astray or as follows? Until whenever it's nothing but when do the organization go out of control or out of its charted course? So in the situations like whenever we need to adopt a change, in such situations it may go out of control because change is inevitable. Change is an integral part of for every organization, for every business environment, change is very necessary. So because there will be a market shift, new products, we need to upgrade ourselves with the new technologies, new materials and that are being discovered, and new government policies. Whenever the government changes, they will be changing the policies and regulations that are being followed in the followed by the new form of government and that are being introduced in the state or at the central level. The control systems enables the manager to detect the changes that are affecting this organization. It is the responsibility of the manager to detect what are the changes that are affecting the organization and has to take the necessary actions and has to think about the control actions that has to be taken before the problem becomes an issue. So next is delegation. Delegation is nothing but when a manager delegates authority, it is the responsibility. His own supervisor is not reduced. Superior is not reduced. So he has to delegate the work equally within himself and also to his subordinates. A manager needs to control the system to determine whether his subordinates are accomplishing the task delegated to them. In the absence of the control system, he will not be able to check. So whenever you are delegating the work to your subordinate, it is also very important to whether the delegated work is done in a proper way or not. It is the work of the manager. He do have to monitor. His work is to monitor whether the work is being done in a systematic way or not, being done in an efficient way or not. If he will not be able to, for this we need a better or else good control system to check the progress of the subordinate and for taking the necessary control actions whenever the failures occur. So next, mistakes. We all know that mistakes will be happening in every organization. Employees often commit mistakes. Problems may be diagnosed or incorrectly. They'll be doing something incorrectly. If it is written once, sometimes they may not be they not be selling the product with a discount. Sometimes they didn't listen to the team leader and they'll be selling the product without a discount and they may raise a problem. Pricing decisions may be faulty. Wrong parties may be ordered, etc. So managers require a control system to detect and rectify these mistakes before they become a serious problems. Next we see complexity. Large organizations are complex due to decentralized and geographically scattered operations. For example, sales at different retail stores. If you take that DMart and Big Bazaar, these are all the retail stores. We find these stores all over the country. So for such type of decentralized and large organizations, like they'll be having different stores and they need to be recorded and analyzed accurately, because they can't monitor by going to each and every employee what they are doing. Every manager cannot monitor every employee. So for monitoring all the employees at different branches, we need a good control system in order to accurately analyze the performances. So close monitoring of diversified product lies in need to ensure that quality and profitability are being maintained. Such monitoring is impossible without a control. So close monitoring is only possible if you are having a systematic process of monitoring and guiding the system. So the third objective is to indicate corrective action. Controls are required to suggest remedial action. Control actions are nothing but the remedial actions whenever things go wrong. Whenever we anticipate that something is going to happen in future, we'll be taking the decision. If it goes wrong, we'll be identifying the solution. What ought to be done to resolve this issue? What better can be done to resolve this issue? That is called as remedial actions. A control system may, for example, reveal that goals must be modified, tasks should be redesigned, staff should be trained. For the example, the people who are working in IT or ITES companies, they'll be giving some refresher trainings. Whenever new technology comes in the market, like if your software, if your company is working on Visual Basics, and new software like Visual ASP.NET is come in the market. Now these employees are trained in the new software. Every time they will be provided some refresher training in order to make them to adopt to the new technology or the change in the business environment, and in order to excel the business. A sound control system not only reveals deviations but also suggests the control actions required to overcome this deficiency. A good control system not only identifies or anticipates the future deficiencies but also controls and overcomes these deficiencies. So to sum up, once a plan becomes operational, control is really necessary measure that has to be followed in order to measure and assess the progress and to uncover deviations from plans and to indicate corrective actions. So it is very important to have a good management control system in every organization to work in an efficient and effective manner. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.